Good morning, evening, afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark,
And I'm Zoe.
and we are the Board Adventurers, back to you with another fresh off the shelf. And today we're going to be making some carpets for you. We're going to review the 1 to 5 player game Tabriz, designed by Randy Flynn and published by Crafty. We're not going to review the solo version of this because we haven't played the solo version. We're just going to review the multiplayer version of this, and we'll go over it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set up the board in front of you. You're going to take out the board. We have the deluxe version that has the almost like it kind of looks like a runner mat, like a carpet. And then you're going to take the tiles. So you have shop tiles here. You're going to pick the side of the board that either has a 1 to 2 or a 3 to 5. If you're playing 1 and 2, you're only going to play the ones that have solo shops, solo one color. If you're playing 3 or more players, you're going to pick the ones that have the dual shops, and you'll set them up. You're also going to add in the trader tiles. So again, they'll be placed on the board based on the size of that space. You're going to place the starting tile. One thing to note is that these tiles are two-sided. So what you can do is you can play on either side when you set up. But the side that has, I believe, it's like a mandorla or some sort of like circular gem thing. This will be signifying your first play, so it's recommended for first plays. You're going to set up the alleyway tiles, which are these these rectangular and these special tiles. If there's any tile that has dice on it, you're going to roll that colored die, and you're going to place it on your tile. Each player is going to get a player board. Then they're going to get 3 apprentices and a special skill marker. It kind of looks like a paintbrush in the rule book, but it kind of reminds me of like a Wolverine claw, like kind of a slash. That's just a note. That's going to be used to track this, and then you're also going to take money based on if you're first player or so forth. We'll post like what the player counts will get. Then you're going to take the commission. So there's 3 types of commissions. There's the brown commissions, the red commissions, and the blue commissions. You're going to shuffle each of the decks, and you're going to deal out 2 of the brown and 2 of the blue to each player. What's important, we're going to get into gameplay right now. So by that point, you've already set up the game. So this game is... This game ends when one player has finished their 9th commission, meaning that they've completed the whole commission, or they've reached the 12 point in their skill track. So it's the 12 point here. After that, you're going to finish off that round, and then whoever has the most victory points is the winner. So how do you play the game? So you have three of these little apprentices on the board. The important thing to note is that each round is you move each of the apprentices once, and you can move up to 3 spaces away on the board. When you get to a location like a shop or a trader, you can take the action of that shop. So for the shop you're going to buy the resource of that color at the price on the top. So however many squares or resources are here, you'll pay that much, and you can take that much from whatever the available supply is here. When you get to a trader, there's traders on the map, and they're all for each different resource color. So what they'll do is they'll let you trade certain colors to other colors. So it's a way of keeping track of everything. So on your turn, after you've made that movement, after you've traded or you've bought or you've used one of these special tiles, you can then finish a commission if you have it. So on a commission, the important thing to note about commission is that you have the cost at the top. So you have to spend these resources back into the supply. You're then going to get the immediate yellow bar that's here in the middle. And the important thing is also that you have a workshop action. At the bottom of your player board, you're going to have a workshop. At the beginning of each round, each player is going to reset their pieces, meaning that once you move the piece, you have to set it to its side to indicate that it's been used. Once all 3 have been used, you're going to stand them all up. You're going to refill each of these based on the number on that shop. You're going to re-roll any dice that's on these shops here. And you're going to take a workshop action. Or your workshop resource. Some of them give you conversion, meaning that you can trade things for other things. Some give you money. Some give you a die roll of some sort. There's definitely different things. Just note that the commissions vary from in difficulty. So you have brown, you have red, and you have blue, and that's in increasing difficulty. When you get the reward for some of these, so let's go over maybe a reward that has all four. So this card here has all four types of rewards here. You're going to get the money by completing this. You'll get a resource of a color. You'll get a skill. So your skill will move up on this track, and you can get victory points. So that'll be the star here on the far side. What does the skill track do? So the skill track, whenever you move it, gives you varying abilities at every 2 spaces you move it. So at 2, there's a tile in the very center of the board that lets you draw new commissions if you ever run out. So you can either draw 4 cards and keep one, or you can take 1 card and 4 money. The issue is in the very beginning of the game, you can only draw from the brown deck because you're not experienced enough to make the red. The merchants and the higher ups don't let you make these better carpets. Once you reach level 2 on your skill track, you can then create red, and you can take red commissions. When you move up to level 4, you can move 4 spaces with each apprentice. At 6, you can then take blue, which means now you're the cream of the crop. They trust you now. So that's at 6. At 8, you can draw 4 of any deck, so in any combination, and you can keep 2. So that's at 8. At 10, that's when, oh man, things hit the fan. So now you can play 2 commissions instead of just 1 at the end of each turn. So it kind of speeds up that way. And then finally, if you hit 12 and 14, you just get 2 flat victory points. Again, that indicates the end of the game. If you're the first person to finish your 9th commission, or if you're the first person to hit the 14, you're going to get this special 2-point token that gives you another additional 2 points. And then you'll finish the round. And then you'll see who at the end of the round who has won Tabriz. With that being said, that is a basic way of how you play and kind of the play style of it. So what do you think?
Yeah, so Tabriz is a game I really didn't know much about. It's a game that you backed and you told me about it. It was like, this is the guy from Cascadia, the designer. He designed this game, and it's a trade-in game, and it looks really good. I was like, all right, cool, I'll play it. And it really surprised me in terms of how much I enjoyed this. I wouldn't say it's like the best game that came out in the past year. What it does, it's similar to Cascadia. What it decides to do, it does a really good job at it. And it adds some interesting aspects to it as well. It reminds me of a lot of the games that came out around the time that Splendor, that time where there was a lot of lighter resource management games. It's kind of a light, simplified game, which kind of is a breath of fresh air, because I feel like there's a lot of games that have a lot of ambitious aspect to it in terms of heaviness and what you're doing, and this is kind of taking it back a little bit, and I really enjoy that. The trading aspects to the game, I really like. Part of it is because this game adds board presence to it as well, in terms of the 3 pieces that you have, and you're moving around the board, and you want to make sure that and the board is pretty wide, and you only have 3 movements per meeple. So you want to have a specific board presence, one on the left side, one in the middle, one on the right, so you can have maximize what you can do. And there's a lot of different trading options, and it makes it unique. So even if you have resources that doesn't match the cards that you're trying to accomplish, the idea of the game is that you're trading resources for other resources, and then trading those resources for other resources. It's if you like trading and resource management, this is really the game for you, and that aspect of it really resonated with me. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of share that sentiment too. Is that what I'm noticing with these Randy Flynn games is that they seem to be very kind of easy to get into, but still have slight crunch into them. Yeah, like it doesn't feel like it's just a, one of those, introductory type of games. There's still something that kind of makes you question your movement. And that's what I think is a signal of like a very good game.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention is that when it comes to resources, again, this is something that you don't really think of because, like, sometimes they'll give you a whole bunch of resources and you can buy them straight out. So, like this one, say example, you can buy any amount more than 4 for just 4 money. But if nobody buys anything, and this gets to the X point, so meaning you're adding more than this, it sells out the whole thing. So you're basically resetting the whole board. So if there's a point where you need a specific color and no one's been into it, then you could actually not have the ability to get to it unless you trade.
Yeah.
And like that's like one of those little small like pivot points where it's like, okay, I need to make sure I get this color because next round we might not have it. And the same thing with these other pieces. So they actually add in some almost like push your luck into this too, right? So there's some of these areas that let you just roll die, but there's some risk in it because, like, say for example, this one lets you roll 3 die, but you can buy any amount that's on here. However, you're buying it cheaper. But anything that you don't buy, your opponents can buy for full price.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to roll the certain colors, but then whatever I roll, I want to be able to buy it. So this way my opponent can't just buy it, without their turn. It's just those little things that add a little bit more intrigue into the game.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The thing too, you mentioned the push your luck mechanic with the game. One thing that it does that's really smart is that there's so many ways. So in the game, you're going to want to get specific types of colors, but there's so many different ways to get the same color. You can choose to just trade in to, like, say if you need a red, you can choose to trade a color for a red based off of whatever is out on the board. You can choose to buy the red that's out on the board as well. Or you can choose to go to any of the push your luck mechanics and see if you can get it at a cheaper cost.
Yeah.
You have a lot of good options in terms of how you get the resources that you need. So you don't totally feel locked out of resources, but the choices that you make are fun and advantageous to you.
Yeah, and like one of the things too is like these traders, like these aren't just one-time actions.
No.
Like one of these, like say this is the green converts to yellow. You can do this 6 times on your turn if you have 6.
Yeah.
So if you ever saw a shop that had 6 green on it and you saw no one bought anything, it might be beneficial to just buy everything so you can convert that green into other resources that you actually need.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like I said before, what makes this so fun is that the game is not just resource management trading game. The board presence of it is really cool because you got to manage where your people are every round.
Right.
And that's, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So like that idea of movement too is that if you know you need a certain shop on the right side, but you already have a person that's already flipped over, you need to use the person that's in the middle to move to the right. But now the middle has been, displaced.
Yeah.
That person on the far left is so important because if you want to get anyone on the left or the middle, you have to use that person.
Yeah. So, and it coincides well with the spots that reset. Because you've noticed it's getting higher. You want to make sure you have a meeple in that vicinity to get to it before it resets.
Yeah,
there's so much board presence and board management on top of the trading aspect of it that makes it unique, and it does have this idea in which your abilities scale up as well as the game goes, which is also unique.
Yeah, like your engine building with your workshop, like you're finishing a commission to get the additional effect of it at the very start of your round. Like there's just some really cool mechanics in this game that kind of add in without adding crazy complexity to it.
Yep, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
In terms of a review score, where are you with this one?
Yeah, like I think I played this game a decent amount in the last couple weeks because it's just so easy to teach to people.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain the commissions too crazy. I don't have to explain the board that much. And then each of the spaces just kind of just tells you exactly what it does with symbolism. I appreciate when there's not a lot to read, especially on like cards. Like there's no text on this card that you can't understand with just symbols.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I was varying between 4 and a 4.5.
Oh,
Um, and I think I've talked myself into a 4.5.
wow.
This is a very solid, almost like introductory into a little heavier step kind of game.
Mm,
Like one thing I kind of relate this to is Century Spice Road,
mm-hmm.
where it has the resource conversion. But I think I enjoy this more because I get that idea of actually walking through a market. I get the idea of actually physically trading my resource with, another trader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hello, I have a lot of green. Can I trade it for your yellow? And then that person be like, yeah, sure, I can give you 6 yellow for your 6 green. I'm like, that's great. I can finish this commission then.
Yeah.
This game's a lot of fun. And I definitely will be teaching this to the game group. This was one of my 9 games that I wanted to play this year.
Nice.
And I'm actually pretty glad I got to play it.
Yeah.
So that's Tabriz. Yeah.
So for me, I was hovering at a 3.5 to a 4. And talking through the game more, because I was trying to think of cons, and I really don't have a ton of cons for this. I'm at a 4 for this. I just really like it. I like the trading a lot. I like the board presence a lot. I like the scaling up as you go. I like that it's an easy game to learn, and the iconography is so good. It's so succinct, and it's like you get it almost immediately. It just really, really works. I was just really surprised by it. This is the second time Randy Flynn has surprised me because I wasn't hyped for Cascadia as well until I played it. And I was like, oh, I like this game. So this was a really good one for me. This is a 4, and this kind of puts Randy Flynn on the map for me. He's kind of become one of those designers where it's kind of like, for me at least, where it's like, he got a new game. I don't need to hear anymore. I'm going to play it. Nice. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Tabriz.
Sweet.
Cool. So that is our fresh off the shelf review of Tabriz. Let us know your thoughts down below. I know this is not a game. This is a game that's not getting a ton of coverage, but so we're really curious to hear thoughts of anyone who has played it or is curious. But yeah, I'm Zoe.
I'm Mark.
We'll see you guys on the next adventure.